crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadrunner.com. Good morning, Hornets. Here's your sip of chaga coffee. Those of you waiting for silver to go to $600, it won't happen on the COMEX. Just keep that in mind. The COMEX is futures and options controlled by a handful of banks. They can print whatever price they want for silver. It will happen in the retail silver shops. We're already seeing premiums at like $10 on a $22 asset. That's insane. So yeah, if you are a silver investor, you should have your physical silver in your own possession. Nobody else should have your silver. Nobody. SLV, no. CEF, no. PSLV, no. This is not the time to allow any third party to hold your metal, and you cross your fingers that they don't go bankrupt when every other entity on the planet does with the banking collapse. Banking collapse, you will lose everything you have in a third party. The first thing to do is the guards are going to take that money to save their families. Take that silver. Oh, they can't do that, Bix. Yeah, right. We've seen it time and time again. There are no laws anymore in the United States of America. Not that there were. They covered it up better in the past. But criminal entities like the CFTC and the SEC deciding who the winners and losers are. It is amazing that America has come this far with such a corrupt system. So I don't know a single entity that will have the moral position to decide what the future holds after the crash. It won't be the SEC. It won't be Gary Gensler, obviously. Gary's a smart guy. He knows his cryptos. But he also is knee-deep in the Hillary Clinton con, which I'll get to in a second. Anyway, so yeah, silver's at $22. If you can get physical in your own possession, yes, they can click a mouse, put the price to minus $40. They probably will on the COMEX, truthfully. Does that mean you can get silver for minus $40? I don't think so. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Right now, silver is well below the 200-day, 100-day, and 50-day moving averages. Those are up in the 23.75 range. Not that it matters. I mean, all those traders that play the game of the moving averages, the technical traders, will lose everything in the banking collapse. Remember, the banking collapse means one bank. Like, say, let's just pick a random bank. Bank of America, for example. Bank of America goes belly up. They're not going to pay back the silver lease to JP Morgan, so they don't have to worry about that. Everybody's going to lose. Every single bank will go down. A too big to fail bank means just that, too big to fail. And it always was the derivative weapon of mass financial destruction, as Mr. Buffett said, that would take down the entire system and make us able to move forward. That's the problem. You can't move forward with massive amounts of debt. Nesra, Gesra, that's all bullshit. All you're doing is reshuffling the deck on the Titanic. And you're dealt a con. Anybody espousing those ways to move forward is a con man. Or just not really smart when it comes to what's going on, why it's happening. I go back to the Fed documents, the Road to Ruta documents, the teacher's guide called The Road to Ruta. And it's all about what the hell are we going to do when the old system fails? And they didn't know. They had 60 great questions that none of the Nestor and Gestra people ask. They just, I don't know what they're thinking, believing that. The worst is the Iraqi dinar people that were just conned. At least Nestor and Gestra people, have a positive intention for the future, but it's not going to be that. Sorry, it just is not going to happen. We're not going to, the QFS, you name it. I've seen so many of these plans. I always go back to the plan I discovered in 2007. The Fed's plan was let the system crash, go back to our constitutional money. There's nothing else you can do because that's the only you don't need a decider for that. That's already on the books. Gold and silver is money. We have so much gold in the United States of America. It's sick. Like ridiculous amounts. I remember one of the officials at the Fed in San Francisco came out and said it. We are lock, stock, and barrel full of coins at the mint. We have no more room in the warehouses. Now, he said coins. And this when they were saying we had a coin shortage. He's like, there's no coin shortage. It's a lie. So much of what the mint does is a lie. And it's sad that the mint had to go down this path. It was a very trusted and respected place. But we also know who the largest hedger is in the world, the U.S. Mint. And they don't have enough. They can't make the blanks, but they still have their hedge book. And the guy who was running it is gone. And now there's the head of HR is the head of the mint. Are you freaking kidding me? But if you are trying to shake up the system, it will be the end of most government agencies. It won't be the end of the mint, but it will be the end of the employees that currently run it. So if you guys are watching this, go look for another job quickly because you will be replaced. You could not follow the law and make silver coins in quantities to meet demand. And you should not be selling them for anything over the cost of what it costs you to make them. You're completely ditching the entire legal system of the United States of America. It's pathetic. But, you got an HR lady as the head of the U.S. Mint, which is insane. Completely no experience when it comes to understanding money or, she can run HR. She can have, positive meetings about empowerment and making a level working experience. See if she can open up the Grand Canyon and get all that gold out of there. I don't know. It's sad. It's sad. Cryptos will go down to zero too. Remember, the banking system fails. There's no way to pay for cryptos. All the exchanges will go down. But Bix, no, cryptos are separate from the US dollar. They aren't. Nothing is. Nothing is separate from anything anymore. They will all go to zero, although you won't be able to get them. We have cryptos for the future, not the present, not the crash. And if it doesn't crash and it just keeps going up, then we have many more problems to deal with. That means the bad guys are still in charge. The insane government that we are watching right now. Do you know the government's allowing this to happen? The crash of the stock market? All part of the plan. All part of the plan. Destroy the United States of America. Destroy the U.S. dollar. Inflation will be raging on June 10th. Remember was it May 11th when the last time they announced the CPI? And they're like, oh, look, we've topped out. I can't tell you how many times I heard people say we've topped out because we went from 8.5 to 8.3%. Watch what happens on June 10th. We're going to be up over 9. Mark my words. Look at what has happened to gasoline over the past month. Everything is skyrocketing. And then, can we make it 8? The sheer relentlessness of equity market sell-off continued apace last week with the Dow capping off its first run of 8 successive week declines since 1923. All part of the plan. They're going to take it down and down and down and down. All part of the plan. Destroy the current system. Remember, they can click a mouse and make the Dow go up over 50,000 if they wanted. All this was invented. These programs were written back in the 60s and 70s by Alan Greenspan under the tutelage of Arthur Burns, the head of the Fed. And he had basically, Arthur Burns went to Greenspan and said, hey, we got to go off the gold standard because France is demanding its gold back. Can you rig the markets? Can we do that with computers these days? This is early 70s. Alan Greenspan, the world's best computer programmer, said, absolutely. You give me the cover, set up the CFTC so that nobody knows what's going on, and I'll rig all commodities. Voila, congratulations. Then the banks took it over, and it got ugly, and ultimately, the plug can be pulled by the good guys in the United States, and I think it will be. My last count was 111 days we're going to have to go through. 111 days. That's when I think that all hell is going to break loose. 111 days. Go look at your calendar, see what that day is. All right. Public enemy number one for the Democrats is Tucker Carlson. I don't like the left or the right. Tucker Carlson cracks me up because he didn't give a shit what the Democrats say. Democrats are freaking lost their minds. So have many Republicans, by the way. But the Democrats, I don't know what world they live on. They control the media, so they think everybody believes what they're saying, but it's just insane how they want to destroy our country and destroy everything that was good about America. That's the plan all along. Divide and conquer. Divide and conquer. Tucker, keep it up. They're going to throw him in jail probably. They're talking about that already. The Biden administration's already talking about throwing Tucker Carlson in jail. That's what America is now. It's sad. This whole baby formula issue was 100% done by the government. Shutting down facilities no matter what. How many kids are dying now? And they're shutting down these facilities. They won't let people order formula from overseas because the FDA didn't get to stamp it. It is insane what is happening, even though the European Union has their own processes for ensuring that this stuff is good, at least good enough. But why did the FDA and why did the Biden administration shut down all these baby formula factories? And why are they continuing to do that? This is bad news. You don't want to piss off a mother. And I can't even imagine what mothers who depended on that are doing right now. Anything they can. A lot of homemade baby food. But, really young kids can't take that stuff. They need the formula. So, talk about a government in collapse. But they still have the media on their side a little bit. Good article on the Wall Street Journal. Where is inflation headed? 9 signs to watch. All kinds of shit. Underlying inflation, the CPI. They bring up trimmed mean CPI and median CPI, anything lower. Let's get a John Williams CPI. I think he's up at near 20% now. The real CPI is 20% using real numbers. I mean, even their fake numbers at 8.3%, it's ridiculous. And wait till it hits over 9. Watch the outrage. With all this shit going on, the outrage is going to be unbearable for this guy, Mr. Joe Biden. Here's his latest tweet. You want to bring down inflation? Let's make sure the wealthiest corporations pay their fair share. What are you talking about? Joe Biden, you're saying, okay, you're going to tax more of the corporations, so it's going to increase their costs, which they always pass on to the consumer. That's higher inflation. And then you take the money, Joe, you and your government take the money and give it to people to spend on other things, which is even higher inflation. Joe, you're a freaking idiot. We're literally being run by the dumbest human on the planet. I blame Democrats. I blame that they rigged the elections. Of course they did. And if you're a Democrat and you're like, oh, I can't believe you're saying that. You've been watching too much CNN. You know who came out and endorsed Joe Biden saying he's great? Bill Clinton, of all people. That mofo belongs in jail for what he's done. Big time, especially his crazy-ass wife. It turns out this is from the Wall Street Journal, so you must admit this is correct. We all knew it. Hillary did it. Her 2016 campaign manager says she approved the plan to plant false Russian claims, the Russian hoax. Yes, the Mueller investigation. How could he not have found it? Because he was working for the Clinton mob. This is crazy shit. But this is America. When Trump even mentioned there was a rigged job, they said, oh my God, we have to impeach him because he's insane. And what's the amendment that says you have to be a sane president? How dare he mess with our democracy? Where are those democracy levers now? When you hear a liberal say, it's our democracy that's in peril, they mean their democracy, the Democratic Party's vision of what their democracy is. Of course, they'll never vote on Roe versus Wade stuff, abortion, Because over 50% of the people say, no, there shouldn't be unlimited abortions. This is an insane world we live in. Insane. But we got to manage it. We came here to do whatever we're going to do. And you guys keep doing it. Hang on to your silver. Hang on to your cryptos. Expect it to get 50,000 times worse than it is right now in the next 111 days. As insane as you think it is right now, it's going to get 50,000 times worse. And that's the end game. Again, Ginny and I talked about this stuff. We did an update in our latest reading, and then we figured out who it is that's taking all that physical silver. And it is a good guy, and it is absolutely an amazing thing that's about to happen for silver. As much silver, melt down your fillings if you have to. Get as much physical silver as you can in your possession. Go to your local coin shop, buy them out. Back up the truck, buy them out. If you don't have a local guy, you can use my guy Andy Scheckman at Miles Franklin. Send the email info@milesfranklin.com or andy@milesfranklin.com and make your last purchases of silver. Yes, the premiums are sky high, but that's because this price on the COMEX is fake. This is the United States lying, cheating, and stealing. Why do you think every other commodity is blowing out its all-time highs, doubling, tripling its all-time highs? Even gold is triple its all-time high from 1980, and silver is less than, it's at 44% of its all-time high. Or 1980, $50, and then 2011. So nobody can say, oh, no, that was just the Hunt Brothers. Well, 2011, what was that? I can tell you what it was. It was JP Morgan's Operation Silver Slam. Go to Road to Ruta and find out more about that. Anyway, go check that out. Jenny Moonstone readings on the private road. I attached a very important document right below that called The Human Freedom Rests on Gold Redeemable Money. If you haven't read it yet, you need to. You have to. If you want to understand why the U.S. has been in this condition for so long. This is, for silver price suppression, it goes back 175 years. 175 years to the Opium Wars. That's why I'm so heavily invested in silver right now. I love cryptos for the future. But the reversal of 175 years of silver price suppression, it will be something to behold. And will free humanity from these criminal banking cabal. They belong in jail. They probably will go in jail. So, Christine Lagarde, Klaus Schwab, Janet Yellen. Those of you who followed me long enough know I met Janet Yellen. I went to see her speak when she was the head of the Fed in San Francisco. And I asked her a question. It was a small bunch of bankers, and I asked her a question. I said, she was like, oh yeah, China. I said, what's going to happen when we outsource all our jobs to China? Well, that's a globalization, free market at work. I said, yeah, but wouldn't that be horrible for the United States of America? And wouldn't China abuse it? She's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. Here we are. And that crazy woman who has no clue what she's doing is now the head of our U.S. Treasury. Or at least the pretendency, the fake treasury that is currently running the system. Anyway, that's where we are. Join the private road at roadtoruta.com and you will get this silver coin, the coolest coin ever made. This is Bix Weir. I'll talk to you later.